Year 7, 16.3, Forming and Solving an Equation. Let's look at some examples. Here's a triangle. The question tells you that the perimeter of this triangle is 52 centimetres. Then it says, form an equation and solve it to find x. As soon as we see that word, an equation, we know that there must be an equals sign in the middle. What other clues does the question give us? Well, it mentions the perimeter of the triangle. It says the perimeter is 52 centimetres. So, let's put that on one side of our equation. And then think about how we make the perimeter of a triangle. Perimeter means the distance round the edge, and we find that by adding each of the sides together. So let's just go around the triangle, writing down each of the sides and adding them together. 2x plus x plus 10 must equal 52. There, we've got our equation. The next step is to simplify where we can, and we can certainly simplify the left-hand side. Add together the x's to make 3x plus 10 equals 52. Now we can get on and solve our equation using inverse operations. Subtract 10 from both sides, 3x equals 42, divide by 3, x equals 14. Make sure we write down the centimetres, and before we move on, check to see if our answer works. If x is 14, then 2x must be 28. We can try adding the three sides together, now we know what they are, and we get 52. Yes, we've solved the equation. Example 2. Here's a quadrilateral. The question says, form an equation and solve it to find x. Work out each angle. This time there's no numbers at all. How are we going to solve this? Well, if the question doesn't tell us anything about the lengths of the sides, then it must be a question to do with angles. Maybe we've remembered something about the angles in a quadrilateral. Angles in a quadrilateral must add up to 360 degrees. That will give us our equation. We take each of the angles, add them together, put an equals sign in, and make the answer 360. There's our equation. Next step, simplify the left-hand side by adding together all of the x's. We get 9x is equal to 360. This is now looking like an easy equation to solve. We just divide by 9. We find that x is 40 degrees. Before we go, check that this works. Write down what that means each of the angles would be, add them together, and see if we really get 360. Yes, we do. Make sure we've actually answered each detail of the question by writing down all of the angles and putting in the degrees sign. Now we're done.